Just one on your, I guess your area of expertise, the forward line. That's I guess a part of the ground that's talked about a lot. How long do you think it takes, and what can we expect from? There's a lot of young guys at Justin's disposal this year, but what should we expect, and how patient should the fans have to be?
We need to be patient, and even looking at the opposition on the weekend and see the Gold Coast Suns got a lot of very young forwards. Hopefully, I think rather than Jonathan Brown being the super power forward that we've seen over the last decade, he's going to be very much in a teaching role on and off the field, and hopefully a few of those youngsters can develop over the next 4 or 5 years. To get someone to take contested marks in the forward line, you've probably got to see them in the competition for 6 or 7 years. So that's going to take time. I think we're realistic about that from looking from the outside. But there's some encouraging signs. We've got some very athletic forwards out there covering a lot of territory, and I think, positive signs. But again, I think from the outside we need to be cautious on how we rate these young guys at the early stages of their careers.
Does that mean you agree? Are you expecting it to take a while for the team to gel? You'd like to see some results? Lynch sort of
parts yes, parts no. I mean, there's obviously game styling. You're asking 18 players to coordinate something on a football field. That takes a fair bit of coordination, and often you need to practice it at the highest level a few times before them to do that. That's why it does make sense that it takes a while. Hawthorn have been rolling out their game plan for 9 years, 10 years, so they tend to look like they're all thinking the same thing at the same time. So we might take a bit longer with that. That's the game style, and then you got the individual stuff that Lynchy talks about. It does take time for key forwards to develop, no matter what system you're in, whether you're in mine, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, whatever. You just don't come out clunking the ball. Midfielders tend to take a bit less time. There's a bit more space through the midfield. They tend to be able to keep their uncontested possession tally up. They still have to work on their ground level stuff and their contested stuff, but they tend to find a bit more space. That's why they tend to sort of come in the game a bit earlier. But we'll have all those challenges, and you put all those together, and you're trying to get a premiership at the end of the rainbow sometime. So when that day comes, we'll know when it is. But as Alastair said, it's not going to happen overnight.
Look, Springfield's very much alive. It's we've obviously think it's by far the best option for our new training and admin venue, and we've got some time constraints around the funding, and at the moment it's been a little bit difficult securing the funding. Obviously, change of government has put a few roadblocks up for us, but we're very confident in the process we've got, working very closely with the AFL to secure that funding. So it's just a matter of time, we think, to secure it. But Springfield, as far as we're concerned, is the right option for the club, and it's still very much alive.
Can you put a time frame on it now?
It's a bit hard, Billy. It's and obviously the change of government, we've inherited some challenges there, because obviously they've got some paperwork they've got to work through, obviously, but we've been very active in talking to both not only the federal government but also the state government, and everybody confirms that it's a very good project. They believe in the project. It's going to be a great community asset for Springfield as well, and so look, it's hard to put a timeline on it, but we have got end of June as a target for us internally to meet our funding deadline. But from our perspective, look, it's prudent for us to look at options, and if we don't meet that timeline, then clearly we'll consider our options, and one of them might be that we just extend our timeline, because we believe in the project. We're very confident we'll get the funding, but it's just going to take us some time.